It looks like I came to the wrong conclusion, definitely. This is just to video record the statistics about this blog, about what's happening right now, which is rather strange. After 3 months of suspended blog, deleted, practically non-available to the people, I've realized that everything is going based on MKUltra scenario, and I will not be capable to stop anybody from, actually I don't want to, from investigation pertaining to this case. Not even FBI. All through, you're about to learn in this video that FBI, nor did CIA, nor FBI deserve this. This thing here is going to be voided. I will cooperate with the FBI. If the FBI is going to go to distance to the job, I will. If it's not going to go to the distance to the job, I am going to denounce one. Complete. So this here, it's going to be suspended for right now. If you downloaded this, okay. If you did not download it, fine too. But this is a good video. I've come to realize, as I said, this is a video about the statistics. There is almost 20,000 visitors today, and yesterday there was 55,000. It's going really steep, and it's almost about to hit 3 million visitors. Just like this month 255,000. It's incredible. However, when I did investigate this earlier, I'm going to also use this as a proof of MKUltra. I told you that Supreme Justices were involved in this case, and here you can see the all-time graph from 2016 all the way to 2026. You can see it. The other way was probably better. And so the only thing you can see is that the blog was suspended here. It was actually on March the 6th, and then it was reactivated in June. And this is technology you don't see on the graph. You don't see any of it on the graph. You don't see this stuff on the graph, the stuff that I see. Even if I zoom myself to the last 12 months, which was used literally by, according to agreement of Sergei Mikhailovich Brin, to destroy me, the blog. See right there, it says November the 30th, 2025. The blog again disappeared for a few days. A Russian Jew, Sergei Mikhailovich Brin, literally negotiated this crime with Slovenian police beginning 2004. That's what they're going to do. They're going to negotiate like this. The British royals wanted to have a etch. Charles was laughing on my face. That's how he negotiated, he claimed me. And it's incredible, man, that in the so-called independent Slovenia, you would have the same old KGB killers from the police station negotiated with Putin, with Russians, basically how they're going to take the future blog down. I don't even know if Blogger existed in 2004, but you got to remember this is an Illuminati club, and this Illuminati club had the ability to see what will be in the future, test the products in advance, in exactly the same way as to whenever you witness state meetings, protocols, according to the state protocols, formal meetings, I should say, from the foreign representatives or yours in foreign countries, they always rehearse this before it actually takes place with the future prime ministers, etc., etc. That's how it works. And it's the same shit when it comes to Blogger, products, AliExpress, Alibaba, etc., etc., as became evident from my blog. Excellent blog. I think about the best blog ever. I don't know what kind of news you read, But I know that I did change the perception in you with your reading my blog. I did, no matter what. So this was a basically systematic takedown of the blog. It wasn't the first time they did this, but this time they did it for an entire 3 months. Look. See where it says March whatever. That's already wrong. It says March 10. On March 6, they suspended the blog. And then it lasted like this all the way to June the 7th. Entire 3 months, the blog was gone. And at my surprise, surely my surprise, yeah, I have never seen anything like this. The blog started to pick up wild. It's like people were starved to see the blog. And I don't know how long this is going to last. It almost sounds too good to be true, but if it's going to go like this, the U.S. government, no government can actually deny they see this blog. You may not want to see it, you may pretend you don't see it, but yeah, fuck you see it. You do see it. You do see it. It's quite a big blog. It's quite a news. And people get for the first time the news, the truth about how it all went. Now this is going to be, again, for the U.S. government, extremely disappointing video. Maybe it's not going to be disappointing. I don't know. Depends on whom. But this here, if I take you for the last 6 months, because I am interested in demonstrating you what happened during MK Ultra. I mentioned you how the Sergei Mikhailovich Brin negotiated with the Supreme Court justices. These are the Supreme Court justices. If you want to see them, here. Let me demonstrate to the Supreme Court justices. This is how they look. Look. A blog disappeared on March 6, 2026. Look. And it's a 0. Look. All of a sudden it's a 0. You see this where it says one view? This is what the Supreme Court justices, FBI people. That's why I said I'm not going to be capable. Not capable, or I'm not going to go and stop the FBI from it. You're going to hear from me for what you have done. That video that I posted is a video on target. It's exactly what needed to be taught you about how you do your things in America. That's a possibly Supreme Court justice. One view, 2 views. The blog is dead now. The blog doesn't appear. But during MK Ultra, Sergei Mikhailovich Brin negotiated, and with the Supreme Court justices which demanded from him to make them blog available, visible, as well as the FBI, CIA, and so on, they would investigate. So you can see that there is always, look, 2 views, 0 views. Look. See that stuff? Look. 3 views, 2 views, whatever views. Yeah, this concerns security of the United States of America in a big way. The stuff that I mentioned in the blog definitely concerns. Yeah, then it was quite dead for some time. At least it's not possible to see it. But there was a movement, just so I had demonstrated here at the beginning, maybe even for 1 month, maybe? Close to maybe 1 month? Yeah. For about half a month, or maybe 3 more weeks, somebody was coming and continued to watch the blog. And it's based on MK Ultra scenario exactly as I explained to you. So, the blog did not go dead. The blog actually picked up. The numbers are here. You saw the numbers. I wanted to video record this on occasion. I am disgusted. I said earlier, I promise you the U.S. government is going to be disappointed with this. The U.S. government is about to just be disappointed with this. Let me demonstrate you this. No, not this. I'm going to take that away so it won't bother you. This is a huge issue here. These are huge issues. But a really painful issue for me. They're all painful. This is all very bad stuff. They're not good. None of this stuff is good. I don't want to waste time. Let's go to posts here. Yeah, right there it depicts me that people have 13 views. That I just got 13 views and 22 views on the newest post and stuff like this. Quite confusing. And you have to admit me that this is a censorship. You have to agree with me that the numbers portrayed on my blog are real. You have to admit me that this blog is far more powerful than what the blogger indicates. No fucking way are there 13 views on this blog. This blog is an extremely powerful blog. And this blog is the most censored in this world blog. They continue to downplay. So I'm thinking and saying to myself, man, if it recorded almost, I don't know, it says 200,000 views today, that must be a lot of fucking people. That must be a whole lot of people. Anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about this thing here. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. Because I promised you a beating. It is unpleasant for you. It will be more unpleasant with this video. And there will be a video coming that will be more truth. I'm not lying. It's truth that I say. Stressed. In your faces. If I'm lucky enough that blogger is going to pull this out today. Let's do it again. What I'm going to say to you like this about the surveillance in our house. I would say to you, U.S. government, that you are fucking crazy. And I have the proof for you. I have more proofs than what I posted you today. You are fucking crazy because, you know, I'm involved in this 54 years in the world of politics and the stuff that I do. 54 years. That's extensively a lot. Tremendously a lot. And in this video here that you see, I actually demonstrated you the houses where our two houses, basically, from my parents, were monitored by the government during Illuminati meetings. I told you about in that video how the ladies told me here, this bank, it's actually a communist bank, how there was an office that KGB had right there, Yugoslav UDBA, right next to our house, and they administered, surveillance, listened, everything that went on. Yeah, I did spoke to you about that kind of stuff. They claimed it's actually right here across in the apartment building. Some actually even claimed that it was in the building right behind our building. That's what they claim. And I told you how, listen, folks, I met in person people. You understand? I met in person people who were doing this surveillance. There was Serbs, a secret police. This is no joke. This is no paranoia. Pretty much the same thing. Why was this so important for the Russians? Because it was the first time that Western observers actually had the ability to record Russian genocide, Serbian genocide in Eastern Europe firsthand. And I was the subject, who also knew how to twist their brain, get their attention in an extremely unpleasant way, stress them a lot of stuff that did not go along with food, with the drinks. Already as a child, as a baby. This is right next to Austria, right next to Italy. Genocide in a place like this, that was a real treat for the Western powers. And a big confusion for the Russians, for the Serbs. They wanted to cover up. They wanted to make themselves look normal. You know, all that stuff about normal. This is the new house where the father built. Well, that's precisely the stuff that I speak about. That's precisely the stuff that I speak about in this video right here. It's excellent video. It's state-of-the-art video. And it's where I expose how it all started with, again, exactly the same thing, where they had initial office, possible, very possible. It's not only possible, they had it over there too, and they also had it too here at Župančić also. The truth is they had it everywhere. Why? Because they tested the neighbors. So the neighbors had to agree and give them the area where they could do the surveillance. That's basically is why. So that those apartment buildings, all that stuff, the house behind right there, all that stuff was. They had to. They tested where the surveillance would be the best locations, and also learn about the neighbors. This is just the way it's done. To make sure you're not dealing with the troublemakers and etc., etc., etc. What to look for when you're doing stuff like this. All that kind of stuff is just part of this, I'm going to say, of surveillance. But I have proven you this. This, shortly after, as this family here moved, and that was the Bergers, moved to this house right here. That was a big brother is watching you then. Improved. To make the point short for you, it is extremely, extremely unacceptable for you Americans. Extremely, extremely unacceptable, especially for you Americans. Totally fucked up. That you actually celebrated presidents, primaries, mayors, whatever the hell you were doing in Hollywood and etc., 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 while at the same time you left me in a dust. Who the hell am I? Well, you know, I'd be damned if you didn't take 1 million audio recordings and video recordings from this house here. With beginning, and that was in our old house already. With beginning this, every fucking one of them was. If not them, their fathers, their grandfathers, and you multiply this number with a 10 and you get 10,000 easily. You gave me tremendous attention, but you gave me that attention for all the wrong reasons. Because this is just a little dot of what went on inside of these houses. Because you took it to extreme. After 38 years of empty urge of bestiality performed on me. I was born in 1971. You threw me into the psychiatric hospitalization in hospital in 2012 through psychiatric hospitalization. And all your proofs, everything. By the way, Donald Trump was one of the most vile thugs, a real rapist, and people also saw him as a rapist whenever he was dealing with me, because he reserved the right to do favors to the people, and he would have extremely unusual, completely insane requests, like demanding from me, let's say, a total compliance with marital offers from African American population or Jews, let's say. Somebody that it wouldn't fit my views for whatever reason, and he would just reserve the right to, you know, this guy is a really, really funny guy. The perception that you have about him is such that it doesn't match the reality. He was negotiating not only with the South African ANC, guys that sing the songs about killing whiteys and stuff like this. You know, he also had a taste for Barack Obama. Barack Obama is again doing good thanks to this clown. Unprecedented clown. And that this dude actually climbed on a presidential seat under extremely violent terms, such as what ended with me beginning sometimes in 2000 and maybe 24, struggling to get maybe even 5 hours of sleep. Lately, extremely poor sleep. Barely hanging in there for the last few months. Maybe the last 4 months have been by far the worst now in my life, because I get about 4, even less than 4 hours of sleep a day. You know, let me destroy your illusions immediately. If you have any crazy pretensions. Robert Golob stated to me like this, and he did this in front of all the Illuminatis involved in this. He said, "You have your heart is going to last a little longer once I change you the right kidney." Robert Golob claimed that on the right side, that's how it works. I guess that I mirror this or whatever I'm doing, but this is actually the right side here. He claimed that on the right side, my kidney is damaged, and insisted that all that needs to be done is the replacement of the right kidney located on my body. Yeah, I say this to you so that you don't have some kind of pretensions about how you can prove me different or wrong or whatever. There was a debate about this with other Illuminatis. Oh, I already greatly intercepted you and laughed you in the mirror far behind me. You're never going to catch up the step with me again, that's for sure. I just got a letter, by the way, invitation to inheritance trial, which is unacceptable. My father was murdered on May 4, 2026. It's not acceptable. I demand a full investigation. And that kind of stuff that police already was using this judge, a very nice judge who just demanded from me to let go through. And then I got also from Americans recommendations to just not meddle in it, to just let it go. I don't. That was my father, and murder of my father will be thoroughly investigated, with those who did it will be arrested before there will be any kind of inheritance discussion about this property. This property here was acquired literally through my case, MK Ultra case. Even the permit for the property was inquired through the MK Ultra case. There was no houses here, no houses in the back, nothing. A really special kind of order that father got through this MK Ultra case. So there is much more to this inheritance, but the main thing for me is a murder of my father. Just saying, I am not playing by any kind of FBI, CIA negotiations that you have done with the Slovenian side. You understand? These things are personal. That was my father, and frankly, you murdered my father through delay of what should have been assistance to me so that I could save him from this home for elderly people so he could continue to live with me. You caused a lot of bad stuff along the way, so I have every reason not to cooperate with you and demand for you to be investigated due to your involvement in this. The biggest crime of them all you have done is that you took 1 million of proofs to the United States of America, Germany. I told you in that video about how they bugged and they caught Americans, British, with surveillance equipment on them. They were doing this all the time. They were taking the proofs all the time back and forth. I told you about this 1988 incident or 1989, whatever it was. So, for me to know, and you can see that nobody knows me, nobody heard from me, nobody have seen me, yet people involved in this are all over the place. It was just a bunch of them over there on the Facebook. They started to make fun and stuff. Call me crazy, etc., because people believe that doing this kind of stuff is actually releases them from suspicion of involvement in this case. That's not the truth. And it's not a way to intimidate me. That doesn't work. Somebody who filed for political asylum in more than a dozen countries, you gotta be crazy to try tricks like this. Million proofs, all done through me, using me, and not only here inside of the house. Meeting Pablo Escobar in South America, meeting all kinds of gangsters through South America, presidents, prime ministers, everything you possibly can imagine. Central America, Africa, Asia, dictators, and using me as a tool. You know, you bug entire Mid East using me. Lebanon, Palestine, Egypt, Saudi Arabia was Kuwait, Iran, Iraq, everything. And here we are, you're playing Mr. Smart by knowing nothing about who I am, what's going on, or you do even feel any kind of urgency to resolve, to offer assistance. You continue to watch me, basically how I tingle for my life, basically, from day to day surviving. That is disgusting. That's not what our friends do. That's exactly is the last video which I released. It's the kind of people that do. I am not going to say anything smarter than this. It's disgusting that you would have actually a person like this. I don't know what it means to you. You have your clowns on a day-to-day basis. You watch them, and in the background of it all, you deal with me in a way you did, and you did this for 54 years. So this is quite a scandalous thing. Whoever is going to bring this up to the surface, you're not going to be looking good as a country, as a nation, as whole. This is going to look like your shit. You have done extremely poorly, and it was not a neo-Nazis who did it. It was mostly communists, Reds, socialists, liberals, Black Lives Matters, Jews who enforce this. I just say this because mostly when it comes to this MK Ultra issues, it's always that the people that supposedly were victims of MK Ultra, they always blame it in an evil Nazis. I'm not a friend of the Nazis. But we gotta be honest
for what this was. It was all kinds of people involved in this, including Nazis, sure. All kinds of stuff was involved in it. But let's not let the imagination go too far, because something as disgusting and obnoxious and as murderous as this case was against me, I've never ever heard for. And it was exactly Obama's, Biden's, Bill Clinton's that enforced this type of crime for so long, together with Black Lives Matters, with a Jewish lobby, with this AIPAC, whatever you call this, Israel, and so on and so forth. Extremely poor performance of Federal Bureau Investigation, Central Intelligence Agency, U.S. Justice Department of State. I don't even understand what kind of justice is this. Civil rights? What the fuck is the civil rights? Supreme Court, like, what did you say? What kind of court? Stuff that I discussed in the video which I earlier released today. So, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Censoring, genocide, doing all you possibly can. Keep the individual lifelong through forced unemployment, and then you censor even his blog views and absolutely everything you can censor. Push him, actually not only depriving him of the income, but make him look crazy through the videos and blog views, portraying him like he's an extremely not interesting person. And at the same time, using one for no less than 50 years, which is a half a century, as the main espionage tool, as the main intelligence tool for entire United States of America, NATO, European Union, Australia, Canada, etc. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Only you can do something like this, but I don't know how long these statistics are going to last, but this blog is alive, and you sure don't look so damn good when it comes to your own work. You have seen this on Auser Times. My name is Bastian Auser, Boštjan Ausec. I am drowning in crime here in Slovenia. They murdered my father about a month ago, and was at the police station, filed a criminal case against them. Never heard ever since from the police officers. They continue to remain silent in the shadows of it all. Nobody bothered to call me. Nobody cares about what's going on, which is actually quite insane to expect anything would have happened from through Slovenian police. However, the stuff they do, everything they do was previously negotiated with Americans. And that's just poor. Yeah, I must have been wrong. It's not 200,000. It's just number that I wouldn't even reach in an entire month. Incredibly encouraging numbers, ladies and gentlemen. So let's hope that there will be some reality that's going to come out. It's actually so pathetic to see that in the United States of America stuff is done this way. I can possibly not imagine that you would do stuff like this in the United States of America. It seems to me like surreal. But I guess that you're not much different from the Russians, the way you do stuff, the way you do things, the way you handle these things. It's just like in a total Soviet style. I was thrown in a psychiatric hospital in 2015. But you can say that was in Slovenia. Yes, it was. But you are laughing at me when I came in an American embassy and when I was calling you all over the place, going to all those embassies in Ljubljana and so on, doing my best to escape death. You didn't take me seriously. And you were in complete agreement with Slovenes. And you demanded for me to stop talking about it, which is never ever going to happen as long as I live. My father died, and my meeting my father soon, if I have to, it's not going to be a difficult thing to do. You people do not even understand the damage that you caused with your involvement into this case. It is unprecedented. You unleashed and empowered the biggest evil that hunted me entire life. And guess what? I'm not running from here. I'm not leaving him behind. I'm not leaving the life behind. I was running away from here because I was collecting the evidence. I was buying myself time. I was somehow organizing. The brain works like this. Very difficult, but it does, and it did. And today, the results are in. You can continue to pretend to see nothing, hear nothing, know nothing, but this is just a lie the entire world knows. No, this isn't the first time when they did this stuff. They systematically took the blog down. This isn't the first time they did that stuff already. They negotiated on how they would do this, and that's exactly how they did it. But this time they did it for no less than 3 months. But here you can see it. They did the same thing. 0 views and again 3 views. You see that stuff? Where it says December the 1st. This is yet another issue like this we had from 3,000 going to 0. It says Sergei Mikhailovich Brin hallucinated on how he's going to be systematically destroying my blog down little by little, imposing bigger and bigger punishment. And there is another one right here. You see 310? Oh no, this is basically this last 3 months that the blog disappeared. This is not democracy, folks. That's a red terror. Those are the serious signs of a very, very failing state. And the ethics which you employed in my case are disgusting. Thanks for watching this video. Till next time, I'm not happy to say this. I'm not happy to say this because you left me behind, folks. You betrayed me. My father is dead. And the circumstances that you pushed me through are beyond murderous. What exactly was your purpose of involvement in this? I'm going to tell you what it was. You were in it entirely for yourself. Robert Golob was told by your representatives that you don't do just one kidney replacement. I was actually told that you don't do one kidney replacement, that when you replace a kidney that you usually replace both of them, that you do a complete replacement. And he was extremely disappointed about that stuff. This shit was real. They discussed this thing, but how can you push somebody into this kind of wild? They were even asking me what kind of injury the fuck is this. It appears that there was some kind of injury, that they did something, that there was possibility of some kind of injury with this kidney, which I am not aware about. Must have been whatever, MK Ultra stuff, whatever went on. The right side, the right kidney. Just as a spine injury is also located on the right side. Have no fucking idea. They talking about the animals from the Almesto police station, psychiatrist, cops. Neighbor here, Method Yerman, also a communist, devoted. All hallucinated about with a cushion, with all hallucinated about right shoe and left shoe when they were destroying the shoes during MK Ultra. But that's what I said, that obviously the when I was talking about that these people were total lunatics, that you recognize them as a people who knew exactly what, obviously what you needed. I was going to say, as a people who knew what they were doing. It seems to me that you more needed them. It wasn't about them knowing stuff they were doing, but it was more about your needs. That video is going to stay. I'm not going to remove that video. It's going to stay right on their spot. You committed, the biggest crime that you committed was and is simply that you used the truth and nothing else but the truth. Hardly believable, but the truth. And the less believable, the more factual and proven truth. You use one against me for the sake of the psychiatric hospitalization. I am accusing the United States of America, Britain, NATO, European Union of doing this. Beginning 2010, when I started to talk about MKUltra, which was 16 years ago. That is the biggest crime you did. And along the way, you created unprecedented damage to me. You went straight for the throat and you did absolutely everything you possibly could to get me killed. I do believe that you should be investigated. I do believe that you have enormously a lot of bad people. Even I would say not even people employed in your agency that look forward to do damage, that look forward to do bad stuff, to cover up. And cover up what exactly? Since I was involved in absolutely everything. And since you are using me again as a shield to do this stuff in front of the world. You understand what kind of trust we have going on here? A lousy one. Those are the biggest crimes that you committed. Next to accomplishing everything through me, I was thrown into a psychiatric hospital and had to continue to run out of my country where I was born, out of my home, on 2 more occasions, already as an old man. Last time when I was actually 48 years old, went to sleep under the sky, didn't even know where the fuck I go. Wash my clothing in the streams and just go under the bare sky, insane. To unknown. You are definitely not normal. Your government, American government, makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. It's a terrorism. It's actually organized terrorism. I'm not going to remove my claim, probably ever, even if you prove me wrong.